used to think about it, I thought it was a place where souls go for bad people. You know, the whole cave scene, fire everywhere. When I imagined it, I could see the fire burning people. Wait, they weren't burning. They were melting. Flames so hot, it melted a human in less than a second. Can you imagine the agony? Somebody just being ripped apart, atom by atom, quark by quark, a trillion times. Nerve endings being seared shut. I've read when nerve endings are seared shut, all you feel is cold after the first second. Imagine somebody just walking through hell and just melting, then being built back up like a wax sculpture, only to melt again. And all they're looking forward to for all of eternity is just that vicious cycle. I used to think that's what hell was. That's not hell. This is hell. I'm in hell. All I feel now is just cold. Growing up for me, despite my nice picture of hell I just pictured for all you people, it was nice. I was happy. I grew up in a strong family, 2 parents, a sibling, and a loving household. I was really into sports, you know, football. I couldn't get enough of it. My motto was, they can't defend me if they're on the ground looking up at me. My little brother thought of me as his hero, his role model. That fool. When my seasons ended, it was the most depressed I'd ever been, and nobody messed with me. Well, rather, if nobody wanted to walk with a limp or any bad body parts for the rest of their life, they didn't mess with me. I remember once, a guy was coming up to me to start a fight. I was putting stuff in my locker. Apparently he was cuddling with his girlfriend, and she mentioned me. Who knows why? But since he is a guy, he thought the worst. That she was having an affair with me on him. Imagine that. So out he comes out of the hallway, mad as hell. Slams my locker shut and says, "Stay away from my girlfriend or I'll mess your face up." I looked at him straight in the face and said, "I'm sorry, I'm not into guys." That made him angry. He took a swing at me. I ducked it. He made 2 mistakes right there. 1, he slammed my locker shut and I wasn't done with it yet. And 2, he missed. Caught him with a right hook, got him down on his knees, and 2 things happened. 1 good, 1 bad. Good news first. My locker got opened up again, eventually. I used his face. It wasn't that easy, mind you. It was a combination locker. It took a while. Bad news is, when he was rushed off to the hospital, writhing and screaming in pain, he was left partially blind in his left eye. I was expelled again from my 2nd school. So maybe I had some anger issues. Who doesn't? I was a sophomore in my 3rd school when I decided to calm down a little bit. I figured there's always going to be somebody bigger and tougher than me, and I sure as hell didn't want to meet him because I wouldn't want a piece of that. I still played sports, but after a while it just lost its edge for me. It wasn't as fun as it used to be. So I had a void in my soul. I needed to find something to fill that void. So I did what every person would in that situation. I went to church. I figured I needed to repent for my sins. I went for a while, and that too lost its flame. Imagine that. So I stopped going. The rest of my high school career was a blur. College party here, games there, everything in between. Where were my parents during all this? They didn't know I'd sneak out at night, come home wasted, sneak into bed, nothing ever happened. They were oblivious, and that's how I'm liked. To them, I was getting A's and A pluses, and so I took anger management. They thought I just buckled down and got my grades high. Let's just say my grades weren't the only thing high, if you catch my drift. This is when it happened, right after graduation. I went to a party, after graduation party, obviously. When I got there, I started drinking, I started smoking like I usually do. Played a couple rounds of beer pong. I did some flip cup. I am a master at flip cup. I spit some game at some fine young biddy. It was a good night. I was there for 4 hours, boozing, smoking, and getting my Mac out. By the end of the night, I had almost drunk an entire 30 rack, which is, by my standards, a successful party. I decided it was time for me to go home. So I leave the party, and I'm going back on my usual route, walking. Oh, there's a root there. Oops, tripped over it, branch hits my face. Roll down a hill just for the hell of it. I mean, seriously, who's gonna know? It's 3 a.m. I got dizzy, and I looked around. No one was watching. I threw up. First time I've ever thrown up because of alcohol. My bad. Let me just say, beer tastes better going in than it does coming out. Needless to say, because all I had was a liquid diet that night, I was pretty hungry and there was nothing in there. So when I got home, I went to my fridge. I opened it up, obviously, took out some eggs, some milk, some cheese, some spices, a little butter, got a frying pan out, put everything together, turned the burner on, and I don't know what happened. I just passed out. I woke up sometime later with a burning sensation on my leg. I opened my eyes, and my kitchen was on fire. Talk about a buzzkill. I began running around wildly. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't in a current state of mind. I was gone by all means necessary. It was beyond belief. I finally sobered up when I heard a scream. It was one of those chill screams, somebody in agony. It was my little brother. I run to his room and I see smoke coming out from underneath the door. I knocked on the door and it was like the pits of hell behind that door. The flames were just too intense. I could see him through the smoke and the fire, and he was on his bed and he was screaming. I wanted to be the hero that he always saw me. I wanted to be the kid that goes into the burning room and saves his brother. I just couldn't do it. It took every ounce of my strength to pull away from that scene, watching him just burn. I ran to the front door, and I heard a deafening crash. I don't know how long I was out. I don't know how I was alive. I don't know how burned I was. All I know is that now I'm in a comatose state, and all I can hear are machines beeping around me, and doctors talking about how my entire family died. I wish I lost my hearing. You don't want to hear this. My parents, my brother, the only people in my life that were close to me, gone, all because of me. I just want to become numb to everything. I don't want to feel, but all I feel is just cold. Hell, it's not a fantasy place. It's me, being in a coma, listening to doctors talk about my condition. It's me not being able to communicate. It's me being a rebel for some cheap thrills. It's me just feeling cold.
I need the crash cart now. He's going into cardiac arrest.